Okay, ladies, for this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use the smudge tool. We are going to use the smudge tool and create this eyeball. And I have already created one, as you can see, and I also have a blue one here. So I'm going to start fresh. You will have no layers on here, so just ignore all of this. So I'm going to show you that I have my drawing guide on, but we're going to turn that off for the time being so we can create our layers. The brush that I'm using is in your airbrushing library, and it is the medium hard brush, and I have it set at 47%. So what you're going to do is you're going to start by creating a circle, and you're going to fill that circle in, and this is going to be your base. Okay, and I'm going to center that in the center of my canvas here. Eventually, there we go. All right, so with your base, you're not going to do anything with at the moment. So we're going to create a new layer, and you're going to find colors that you want to use to create with your eyeball color. For your eye color, I'm going to use the St. Patrick's Day bow tutorial colors. So I'm going to do different greens here. So I'm going to start with the darkest. So you'll want to start with your darkest color. And you're just going to create a circle inside of your black circle. And I'm going to center that. And then I'm going to drop my color in. And you'll want to be close to the edge of the black for this. So you're going to create another layer. And you're going to go to your second color. And you're going to create a circle. And I'm going to drop my color, and then I'm going to center that. And then I'm going to create another layer, and I'm going to grab another color. And I'm going to draw my circle, drop my color, and then I'm going to center it. I'm going to continue until I get smaller towards the middle with all of the colors that I'm wanting to use. So I'm going to draw another circle. Drop my color in there, and I'm going to center it. And then those are the only colors that I'm going to use. So what you're going to do for the next part is, once you have all your colors, you're going to go back to your darkest color. So you're going to click on your darkest color, and that's going to be your last circle that you drop. And you're going to center that and drop your color. Okay. So now what you're going to do is you're going to merge all of your colors together except for the black. And you're going to go over here to your tool. You're going to turn on your drawing guide. You're going to hit edit drawing guide and make sure it's on symmetry, and then you're going to click options, and you're going to click on quadrant and then hit done. And what that's going to do when we start to smudge, it's going to work in all areas. So it's a drawing assistant guide, so you'll see what it will do. So make sure on your layer your drawing assist is on. Okay, and I'm going to turn on my alpha lock as well. So make sure alpha lock and drawing assist is on. In your smudge tool, this is your smudge tool, you're going to use the medium hard airbrush at 40% for the size, and then 54% for the opacity. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to start swiping like this, smudging those color layers. And as you can see, it works. That's what drawing assist is it works all the way around. And we're just going to continue to smudge until we have all these colors kind of not really blended, but you know, mushed together, I guess you could say. Now when you're working in this part right here, as you can see, it does all areas. I don't use drawing assist that much, so I'm so used to going all the way around, but that's just how I do it. So for this dark color in the middle, you will want to when you start smudging everything in like this, I'll show you what we're gonna do next when you start smudging everything in, because you want to bring all that color in. See how beautifully it's blending? So you're gonna want to bring all that color in to create that look, that color of the eyeball. And then what I want to do is I want to go in the center and I want to bring this dark color out, because this is the color that's going to be around our pupil. Okay, so now I'm going to turn off the alpha lock, because I want this black to be smudged too. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to just lightly smudge this black. I don't want it to be too overpowering, but you'll see what we're going to do. That way it doesn't look too crazy. Okay, so I kind of wanted the black to be blended in with the eye color like this. So what you're going to do, once you have done that, you have turned off the alpha lock, you're going to select this and we're just going to bring it out. We're going to bring it out a little more. We're going to turn on our clipping mask. That way we do not go over top of the black to where it's hanging off the sides. So we're just going to drag it out a little bit. That way the black is still showing, but it's not too harsh. Okay, so just like that. Now what you're going to do is you're going to add a new layer, change your color back to black, and you're going to draw the pupil. Touch your screen to make a perfect circle, just like that. And I'm going to bring my pupil in just a little smaller, like that right there. And then once you have your pupil drawn, you're going to hit your magic wand up here. You're going to hit Gaussian blur, and we're going to blur it out to about 5%. And then tap off of your wand. Okay, and now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to change our color to white. So let me find a white. Here's one. And this is going to give some a glare to your eye. So we're going to bring the brush size down, I'm going to say about 8%. And over in this area, I'm just going to start drawing some lines, going in the direction of the eyeball where, as it curves. I'm just going to start drawing some lines. It doesn't have to be perfect, so don't worry about that. We're just going to do this, and we're going to, there was a very big bird at my door. We're going to blur it. To about, actually, we're going to smudge it first. We are going to smudge it very lightly. Just tap on it. Just make sure you're not smudging too heavy, because then you'll kind of get rid of that white if you do smudge very heavily. But we just want to kind of just blend that in. Just like that. And then we're going to blur it a little bit. Blur it to 5%. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we can stay on the same layers, no problem. We're going to create a, well, maybe we can't stay on the same, oh, no, the opacity's down. We're going to, well, hold on here. Let me think. Why is that color not showing up? Why does this happen to me sometimes? I don't understand. I don't understand. Because we're on white. There we go. Okay. I don't know what happened there. So I am on the layer above the pupil. Okay. I don't know why that happened. So I know what I'm doing, you guys. I just don't know why that happened. So I'm going to create a circle. Let me bring my brush size down. I'm going to create a circle. And I'm going to fill in that circle. And then I'm going to maybe do a line right there. And then we're going to go to our Gaussian blur and we're going to blur that out to about 8%. Let's remove that line and let's add a smaller circle right here. And drop our color in there. I think that'll look better. And then Gaussian blur and then blur it out to about 8%. And we've completed our eyeball. That is how you use, let's turn that off. That's how you use the smudge tool to smudge different colors together. So if you don't want to try the eyeball, then you are more than welcome to just do a circle with different colors and practice with that smudge tool. So once again, if you do want to follow along with the eyeball, I think it turned out really pretty. I like it. If you do want to follow along with the eyeball, then just follow along with this tutorial. If you would rather just do circles and then smudge them together, like we can do some pink. Drop our color. Let's bring that in a little bit. I'm going to do just 3 colors. But when you're working with layers that you can smudge, then you will see like endless things that you can create. Sunsets, ocean waves. I mean, just all kinds of different things that you can do with the smudge tool. To just bring in those colors together, it's like blending them. And then you can go back this direction. I mean, you can literally use this to draw a furry animal or, something like that. So there is how you use your smudge tool. All right, so now, and I also showed y'all a drawing guide. Okay, so now let's do our pencil. And with our pencil, we're going to create this exact design that I had created the other day. And I made it kind of a spring type teacher design. So I don't feel like everything that you create has to be a holiday theme, even though like around the holidays, those are very good selling products. But I do think that just throwing something like this, which is odd and different, out to Etsy and show people what's different out there, then I feel like it sells better. That's just my personal opinion. Especially when you're outside of the holiday season and you just want to be a little different. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Okay, so I have already created my duplicate pencils. But what you're going to do, let me delete these and I'll start fresh. So you will have one pencil in your file. And what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and move that one to the left. And you're going to duplicate 3 times. And you're going to hit that rotate button down here once you have your pencil selected. And you're going to rotate only 2 of them. Oh, well, I guess that could have worked. But you're going to rotate only 2 of them. So you end up with 2 going this way, 2 going this way. Okay, no, Siri, we're good. We're good, Siri. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna turn off all of these. I did have them renamed. So we're going to, that one's the far left, and this one is just going to be left. This one is going to be right, and this one is going to be far right. That way I know which ones I'm working with. So I'm gonna cut those off, and we're gonna work with this one. I'm gonna leave it right there. So what you're going to do is you're going to add a layer, and we're gonna turn on our reference. And you're going to do your select tool and your color drop. Okay, and I know everybody pretty much now knows how to do the color drop. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a layer, turn it into a clipping mask, and I'm going to bring my images over, and I'm going to find that same one, which I believe is this one, and I'm going to drop that in there. Now keep in mind, you do not have to, I think that's that one. Either way, it's fine. You do not have to do backgrounds. If you want to fill these in with color, different brush designs, go for it. Do what you want to do with it. All right, so I got that done. I'm going to group that together. Then I'm going to create a new layer because we are still working with this one. So make sure your reference is on. All right, so to get that color, hello. Okay, to get that tan color, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just tap on this. That way I can get that tan color for that. Okay, and now I have a texture look in that part of the pencil. So I'm going to add a layer, and I'm going to turn it into a clipping mask. And this end right here, I'm going to take it up to multiply. What that does is it darkens the current color that you're on when you turn it to multiply. Okay, and I'm going to go to my brushes, and I'm going to find, I don't think it's in my faves. It's in one of these brushes that I sent you ladies. There you go. You should have the flat glitter brush. If you do not have the flat glitter brush, let me know and I will send it to you. You see how that gave it like that pencil texture type look? It's actually a glitter brush. So if I was to take it and turn it to screen, it looks more of a glitter. So I'm going to keep it at multiply. So I am done with that part of the pencil. So I'm going to group that together, and I'm going to add a new layer. And the next thing I'm going to do, Lord, is I'm going to do this area right here. So I'm going to change my color. I'm just going to change it to this pink, and I'm going to drop in all three of those areas right there. I'm going to try to get the same color. There we go. Now, since I have my select tool on, if I try to pick another color like that, it's going to change it. So keep that in mind. If you still have your select tool on, it will automatically change it. Okay. Now, what I did with this area is I added a new layer, turned it into a clipping mask, changed to screen, changed that in, which is normal, to screen. And what screen does is on my flat glitter, it brightens up the actual color that is in your color palette chosen. Okay, and I think I actually darkened it on this one. So let me go back to multiply. I just want to know I didn't darken it. Yes, I was on screen. Okay. I just think mine's a little lighter color than that one, because when you try to pick a color and there's already different color shades in that, it's okay. We're trying to get it the closest we can. All right, so I'm going to group these together. And I'm going to add a new layer. I'm going to turn on my select tool, and I'm going to tap. Sometimes it's hard to get in these little areas. There we go. I'm going to tap in that area right there, and I'm going to leave it just like it is. And then I'm going to add a new layer, turn on my select tool, and I'm going to try to get this color. And I'm going to drop right there. And then I'm going to add a new layer, turn it into a clipping mask, and I'm going to turn that to screen, which makes it a brighter color than what I have, and do my dot color just like that. And I have completed this pencil. So we're going to move on to the next one. We're going to group that together, and then we're going to group all of these together. First, I'm going to turn off reference on this one because I'm done with it. So we're going to group all these together, and we're going to rename it far right. Okay, and now I'm going to turn on my far left, excuse me. Okay, and now I'm going to turn on my left, and then I'm going to start working on my left pencil. Make sure you turn on reference. Okay, so I'm going to start, I always start with the, why are you acting out? I always start with the center of the pencil, because whatever color or wallpaper, anything like that that I choose, I want to kind of collaborate colors when I do the rest of the pencil. So I'm going to go ahead and color drop. Then I'm going to add a layer and turn it into a clipping mask. And then I'm going to use the same one that I used. And I'm going to place it where it fills that entire pencil. And you can move it around to, you know, you want certain flowers to be seen really good. I'm going to leave it like that. Okay, so now I'm done with that part. So I'm going to group these together. I'm going to add a new layer, turn on my color, my select tool, and I'm going to find my tan color, and I'm going to drop right there. And then I'm going to add a layer, turn it into a clipping mask, turn it to multiply, which darkens the color, go to my flat glitter, and then swipe across like that. Gives me my textured look inside of the tip of my pencil. Okay, so now I'm done with that. I'm gonna add a new layer. Now you're working in all different layers. Like you're gonna create this in all different layers. So now I'm going to hit my select tool, and I'm going to tap in this area right here. And then I'm going to add a layer, clipping mask, turn that to multiply so it is darker. And then I'm going to make sure I'm on my flat glitter brush, and I'm going to swipe my glitter across it. And then I'm done with that. So I'm going to group that, add a new layer. I'm going to try to get a little, let's see, I'm going to turn that to multiply. That way, when I do the color drop right here, it will my select tool. There we go. Okay, there we go. I was like, what is going on? So I'm going to see if I can find one that's darker to use. I probably should darken the color just a little bit more. I'll just stay on that one. I'll just stay on luminosity. I think that's how you say it. Anywho, okay. So I have that done. So I'm going to add a layer, and I'm going to click in here and use a darker color, and I'm going to color drop and then drop in there. And I think I did sparkles right there. So I'm going to add a layer and turn it into a clipping mask. And I'm going to see if I can find my sparkles that I used. We can also try this one. Turn it to screen. No. Okay, so I can't find my sparkle. It's in here somewhere. So I'm just going to use this Victorian brush just for the tutorial. Okay, kind of doesn't go with it, but Just go with it, y'all. Okay, so I'm going to group these together, and then I'm going to turn off reference on the left, and then I'm going to group all these together. Okay, so now we have our left pencil complete. All right, now I'm going to turn on my right pencil, and we're going to turn on reference, and I'm going to add a layer, turn on my select tool and color drop there. Then I'm going to add a layer and turn it into a clipping mask, and I'm going to find the one that I used for this one. Let's see. Yeah, it was this one. Okay, so I'm going to color drop drop my background there, stretch it out, and there we go. All right, so let's group those together, add a new layer, turn on our select tool. Let's get that color, that tan color, and drop it in our pencil, the tip of our pencil. And then we're going to add a layer, turn that to multiply, turn it into a clipping mask, go to my flat glitter brush and swipe across it to give it that texture look, okay? And then we're going to group those together, and you can merge them together. It doesn't matter. You can flatten it. That way it merges that together. If you want to not really be fully set on your decision with the background that you have put in there or design you have put in there, then you can just keep it grouped. Okay, so now we're going to work in this area. So I'm going to choose this teal color, select, and drop my color there. Then I'm going to create a layer above, turn it into a clipping mask, and then take it to multiply. And I'm going to go to my glitter brush and swipe my glitter across. Now, as you can see, it doesn't look exactly like my design over here, but that's okay. It's okay for it to be a little different than what I had created here. Okay, so now I group those together. I'm going to add a new layer. I'm going to hit my select tool, and I'm going to click this. It says red. I don't see how it gets red from that. Okay. And do my color drop. But first we got to go back. We got to go back and do this part. So that's okay. We'll go ahead and choose a color for there and go ahead and drop our color in there just like that. Okay. So I just skipped a step. Y'all forgive me. Okay, so I'm going to add a layer above our eraser, turn it into a clipping mask, and take it to screen because I want it to be brighter. And brushes I've made, I think I used 101 pups for this one. So let's pick that, and then we're going to do that right there. Okay, so I have now completed my third pencil. So I'm going to turn off the reference, and I'm going to group all of these together just like that. Now we're going to complete our final pencil. So you're going to turn on reference. You're going to add a layer, hit your select tool, and color drop. And if you are doing color drop of a color that you want to be there, then find your color first and then color drop. That way you'll know what you have in mind that you have planned to create. Okay, so this is the one I used, I believe. And I'm going to bring it over and drag it out. Just right there. Okay, so I have completed that part. I'm going to add a new layer, and I'm going to do the tip of my pencil. So select tool and color drop, and then I'm going to do the same thing that I've done with all the other ones. Take it to multiply, and I'm going to get my flat glitter brush, and I'm going to swipe across it like that. And then I'm going to group these together, and then I'm going to create a new layer. And then I'm going to choose a color in here. Let's see that one. Select, color drop. Okay, and then I'm going to add a layer and turn it into a clipping mask and take it to screen. Make sure I'm on my flat glitter, and then I'm going to swipe across it. Then I'm going to group these together. And I'm going to add a new layer, and I'm going to color fill in those. You know, when you zoom in, it gets real pixelated, so don't worry too much about that. Because when you zoom out, the pixelated is gone, because you guys know that Procreate is a pixel app. So a majority of everything when you zoom in is going to look pixelated. Okay, so I chose a color in here. I'm going to go with kind of a peachy color. Hit my select tool and color drop in there. And then I'm going to create a new layer. I'm going to turn it into a clipping mask, and I'm going to go to screen because I want it to be lighter than this color. And then I'm going to go back to my polka dots, and I'm going to place them there. Okay. Now I actually think with this one, I'm going to, because as you can see, I have polka dots here, and then I have the Dalmatian dots here. So I'm going to go back to my left one and figure out where I place that right here. And I'm going to clear that, and I'm going to choose that color, and I'm going to do my Dalmatian dots on this one so it can be the same as this one. Okay. All right, so there you have it. I've completed all 4 pencils. Let me go ahead and group all of these together. And that way we have all of our 4 pencils completed. This one is the right pencil, and then this one is the far right pencil. Okay, so now what you can do if you want to move all of these around, all you have to do is select all of them. You don't have to group them. I literally just learned that. If you want to move your items around, you don't have to group all of them and then move them. You just swipe to select them, hit your select tool, and it gives you that option to move them around. So, I mean, see y'all, I learn something new every day too, being a teacher of Procreate. But that's okay. I mean, you know, we all learn something new every day. I think I just grouped all of those. Okay, so what I want to do is add a new layer above. I'm going to change my color to black. Now with this one, I did Miss Martin. So I'm going to do that again. I'm going to type out Miss Martin, tap, and hit my A over here. Find a font that I like. And Crafty Beach is a good font to use if you ladies don't have Crafty Beach already, or if I have not sent it to you. I'm not sure if I have or not. But you can find that font on dafont.com and download that for free. So I really like this font. Okay, so I have Miss Martin written out here. I want to change the color. So I'm going to select all of it and hit my color palette. And I think I want to change it to, I like that color. So I'm going to change it to this color. Okay, let me go back, fix this. Okay, well that color is not showing up in my palette. So we're just gonna find a different color. Let's see. We'll just keep it pink. Okay, because what I want to do to it is I'm wanting to add a little shadow behind it. So I'm gonna duplicate it. I'm gonna click on my duplicate layer, and I'm going to hit my magic wand up here and let's see, hold on. Duplicate, hit my magic wand. There we go, because it had it separated down here. I don't know why. Okay, and I'm going to turn my saturation all the way down. And then I'm going to go back to my magic wand. I'm going to hit Gaussian blur, and I'm going to blur it up to about 7%. Click off my magic wand. And then I'm going to just drag it a little bit just to give it a blur effect to the design, to the words. And you can add a new layer above this, turn it into a clipping mask. We can go to screen, and I can use my glitter brush, and I'm going to swipe across and make this shiny. And then I'm going to group all of this together. That way I can move it around, stretch it out, however I want to do it. Even kind of like put it on top a little bit, or put it in the center of the design, you know, anything like that. But I'm going to keep mine down here. And I want it to line up. Let's group it together. Let's flatten it. Okay, that way I can have more control of where I place it. And I want it to line up with the edge of the pencils. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to click on freeform, and I'm going to drag it down just a little bit like that. And there we go. I'm satisfied. So there you ladies go. Have fun with the pencil, and you can create 3, you can create 4. I mean, it's totally up to you. If you just want to create 1, and then what you could do, which this is pretty fun to do, you can take 1 and you can rotate it to where you have it at like an angle like this, and you can put some things around it, throw a bow on it, put some kind of text around it, or some elements, anything like that. I have done a bow like this, and I have actually I have done a pencil like this, and I've actually added a bow to the pencil. So let's see if I can find a bow in my images, and I'll show you just how cute it looks. So you can take a bow and just, you know, either catty corner it like, or add it to the corner like that, or you can rotate it and add it to the pencil like that. Just make it cute. Have fun with it, y'all. And I cannot wait to see what y'all come up with. Remember, new tutorials schedule is Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays are going to be Procreate, and then Thursdays are going to be Canva. I'm not sure what we're doing Thursday yet, but I have something in mind, so I'm going to work on it. And hopefully I will have that ready and set for us to be able to do for Thursday and get creative on Canva. But hope y'all have fun with the smudge tool. Create you an eyeball or circles or whatever, and share it on the group as well as your pencil design.